I spent the last 5 years using every single mirrorless camera, and after shooting hundreds of photos and videos in different situations for different projects, these are the best mirrorless cameras right now based on my actual real-world experience. And I made sure to include something for photographers, hybrid shooters, content creators, with budget options as well. And I've organized this video into chapters with links down below for each camera. Now, my favorite camera on this list that's perfect for hybrid shooters focused on both series photography and video is the Sony A7V. I've had one for about 5 months and I use it every single day. The A7V, without a doubt, has the best sensor in any mid-range camera. It has a 33 megapixel full frame sensor, which is a boatload of resolution, along with incredible dynamic range and editing flexibility that is as good as a $10,000 professional setup. And it's a really fast sensor as well, leading to some incredible photography performance. For photos, it does a pretty decent 10 frames per second in mechanical shutter, which is good enough for most fast action. And this mode also has the best dynamic range as well. However, it can do a brain-melting 30 FPS in electronic shutter mode in 14-bit RAW as well, making it one of the best sports and action cameras for the price. But this mode is more than just fast photos. The high speed also lets you do composite RAW photos. By stacking up to 16 photos, you can get extremely clean results at high ISO for low light shooting, and you can also do HDR photos for super high dynamic range. So if you're a nature photographer, street photographer, architecture, concerts, fashion, someone that really pushes their cameras into challenging situations, these modes are extremely helpful. And in my opinion, the A7V is pretty much perfect. The only way it could be better is if it also cost more. However, video may or may not work for everyone. It has all the core features you need, like 4K up to 60 frames per second, and it's also downsampled from 7K. So effectively, it is a 7K camera. Plus, it has S-Log 3 in 10-bit color, and I've personally gotten great results with it. For YouTubers, corporate filmmakers that do real estate and travel videos, and even beginner cinematic filmmakers who want to make short films, the A7V has everything you could possibly need, and it's also my main camera for YouTube. But for professionals that maybe need raw video, OpenGate, or 32-bit float audio, there's actually much better choices out there for you. And if that sounds like you, there's another video on my channel you should check out if you do professional work. But for hybrid shooters that need top-notch photos for fashion, architecture, concert photography, and filmmakers that do corporate work or content creation, I genuinely think the A7V has everything you need. Now, if you don't want to spend a ton of money, but still get all the core photo and video features without downgrading or compromising on your camera specs, the best bang for your buck in mirrorless cameras right now is the Canon R6 Mark II. It has a 24 megapixel full frame sensor that is the sweet spot for both photos and videos. Plus, it has incredible low light performance, even up to 6400 ISO and 12,800 with only a little bit of grain. If you travel a lot, do a lot of street photography, this feature is very helpful. For photos, the R6 Mark II is actually one of the fastest cameras out there. It does 12 frames per second mechanical shutter, which is fast enough for most action and sports, but it can actually shoot as fast as 40 frames per second, which is almost double the speed of regular video. So if you're shooting sports, wildlife, anything with action, it is literally impossible to miss your shot. And the autofocus handles these speeds like a champ with zero issues. However, in this mode, the camera does drop the quality of the RAW files to 12-bit RAW instead of the standard 14-bit RAW, which does give you a little bit less flexibility when it comes to editing. But unless you do extremely heavy editing, most of us will not notice it. Now, video is the main reason I picked up the R6 Mark II, because it covers all of the core features that I need without any downsides at all. And when I bought this camera, this was actually one of the best video cameras on the market. The R6 Mark II can shoot 4K up to 60 frames per second without any cropping, compromise, or overheating, and it also has a super slow motion mode for full HD up to 180 frames per second. In my opinion, most video shooters don't really need more. Plus, the footage is also downsampled from 6K, so effectively it's a 6K camera. Plus, it also has C-Log 3 in 10-bit color for cinematic color grading, and you can actually shoot 6K RAW up to 60 frames per second using an external recorder like the Atomos Ninja. So if you want to use this for professional projects, you absolutely can. The R6 Mark II has pretty much everything you need for both photo and video, and it comes at an absolutely incredible price. But two cameras I want to make sure you guys know about that have some of the features that the A7V and the R6 Mark II are missing is first, the Nikon Z6 III. Absolutely incredible camera for both photos and videos. The main selling point is that the Nikon Z6 III can shoot internal 6K RAW up to 60 frames per second. The only reason it's not on this list is because the camera does struggle with a little bit of noise and you really have to use it in the right way. Next up, the R6 Mark III. It's basically the R6 Mark II, but with a 32 megapixel resolution and with open gate available at 7K up to 30 frames per second. Now, the next camera is for someone that's maybe a hobbyist, a beginner, or just a photography enthusiast that wants to do some serious photography with a little bit of video without spending a ton of money. And that's the Nikon Z50 II. It can produce gorgeous images straight out of the camera, plus shoot at incredible speeds, and it has one of the best designs for a smooth photography experience that I have ever used. When it comes to design, it has a dedicated button for every major function like shooting speed, ISO, picture profile, plus 2 custom modes on the mode dial. Plus, the starter lens collection is incredible. You can get a 12 to 28mm wide zoom lens for travel and street photography, or an 18 to 140mm super zoom lens for sports and wildlife photography. And my personal favorite is the 16 to 50mm f2.8 lens that is perfect for everyday shooting. No matter which lens you pick, the images from the Z50 II are going to look incredible with zero editing. And that's all because of the built-in film looks. These looks can also be customized in camera to suit your taste. You can download new ones from the Nikon app or create your own using the Nikon NX Studio. The Z50 II features a 20 megapixel APS-C size sensor, which actually offers 2 unique advantages over the higher resolution 24 megapixel sensor. First, it gives the Z50 II absolutely incredible low light performance that is on par with a pro full frame camera. And the sensor also lets you shoot incredibly fast, but sustain these speeds for a long time. You can shoot 11 frames per second in mechanical shutter, which is good enough for most action, but you can actually shoot 300 raw photos in a row, where most cameras like the Canon R10 will only let you shoot 19 to 23 photos in a row. And you can shoot even faster at 15 frames per second electronic shutter for 200 raw photos. And it can shoot even faster at 30 FPS electronic shutter mode, but in JPEG only, and you can still shoot 300 JPEG photos in a row. Plus, the Z50 also has a full second of pre-capture, making it a really great sports and wildlife camera. Also, in case you didn't figure it out, the Z50 II has almost the same speeds as my $3,000 A7V, and the Z50 II costs less than $1,000. So that 20 megapixel sensor is actually a huge advantage. And the Z50 II does a really good job in video as well. It can shoot 4K up to 30 frames per second, but it's also downsampled from 5.6K, leading to a much sharper and more detailed image. Along with 4K at 60 frames per second, but with a pretty heavy 1.5 times crop. However, it can do full HD up to 120 frames per second, but without a crop. Plus, it also has the Nikon log profile for advanced color grading. Plus, you also have the Red Cinema camera film looks available in this camera. FYI, if you don't know what Red Cinema is, it's the $40,000 Hollywood cameras that Nikon recently bought, so you get their color science. The Z50 II is a pretty decent video camera for photographers that want to shoot video on the side. But if video is your main focus, it probably would not be my first choice. But the Z50 II is perfect for someone that's a beginner, a hobbyist, an enthusiast, that wants to do serious photography and have the most fun possible without spending a ton of money. For you guys, the Z50 II is an excellent choice. Also, honorable mention to the Canon R10. I just bought one 3 months ago. I use it nonstop. Fantastic photo and video results, really solid low light and super fast shooting, but there just simply isn't enough time in this video to talk about it. And if I had to pick one, I think the Z50 II is better, but it's definitely worth checking out. And I actually made a video about it. Now, if you're looking for an affordable video camera for content creation, vlogging, fun travel videos, or just a lifestyle video camera, the Canon R50V is perfect because it is incredibly simple and easy to use, with some really great quality of life features, like a tripod mount on the side for vertical shots, a dedicated button for transferring your photos to your phone or live streaming, and the lens it comes with is perfect for creators. It's wide enough to vlog and show everything around you, but it also has a decent level of zoom for detail shots. Inside the R50V, you have a 24 megapixel APS-C size sensor, which delivers fantastic photo and video quality. And Canon cameras are known for having fantastic colors. Everything looks very true to life with a hint of warmth. Plus, it has a bunch of stylized color filters that instantly level up your shots. So even if you're brand new to cameras, you can still get great results. And for photos, it shoots surprisingly fast at 12 to 15 frames per second, which is great for action and walking shots. Although I will say, I don't think most content creators need this much speed, but it's nice to have. But video is where this camera really shines. It does 4K at 24 and 30 frames per second, but it's also downsampled from 6K, so you get a super sharp and detailed image, and I promise you it will blow any G7X or iPhone out of the water. The R50V can also do 4K at 60 frames per second for 2x slow motion, but it comes with a pretty heavy crop. However, I don't think most creators will mind this crop, and it can do Full HD up to 120 frames per second without a crop. The R50V already has fantastic colors, but if you want more of a filmic or cinematic look, you can also shoot in C-Log 3 in 10-bit color for serious color grading. And personally, I really love the results I'm getting. The Canon R50V is perfect for someone that wants to get the most affordable option, but also wants the camera to be as simple and easy to use without having to do a ton of editing to get great results. But you can edit your photos and videos if you want. The R50V is more for people that care about fun and creativity. Also, honorable mention to the Sony ZV-E10, which is actually the most powerful content creation camera, but it's also a lot more expensive. And I think most of you guys probably rather have a cheaper camera than have the best specs. But if you do want better specs, I highly recommend checking this camera out. It has the same sensor as the FX30 cinema camera, and you will get absolutely stunning results. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever, hit me up in the comments down below. And if you want the best pricing on all these cameras, check out the links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.